shot right now.
Oh, nice.
Fact. Saw it in person. It's there. It's not fake. It's fucking real. It's really there.
Yes, it is.
Excuse me. Hey. All right. I think I'm good.
All right, boys, ready to kick off another podcast?
Let's do it.
Dude, I'm ready. I'm ready to get some in the bank. Let's get it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please do not adjust your listening devices. Your airwaves have been taken over by the Shedtime Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to Shedtime. What is Shedtime, you ask? Well, it's code for the consumption of cannabis, but it's much more than that. Shedtime's a state of mind. It's art, it's music, it's cryptocurrency, technology, it's food, it's vaping. It can be whatever you want it to be, as long as you're not letting the bastards get you down, not being a dick, and making it fun. When you're in the shed, it's whatever your mind allows you to create. So now let's get to the Shedtime Podcast.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Shedtime Podcast. I hope you are doing well. I know we are. I'm feeling amped up right now. It's a brand new day. Yeah, sure it is. It feels lovely. It's been beautiful weather, which I truly appreciate because I've just survived this deluge of rain for the last week.
Yeah, it's shit, huh?
I'm over it, dudes. So now I'm like on my way to some nice fall weather. I'm here for it. I'm gonna be out there two-stepping. Like, yeah. Hoodie weather, here we come.
Dude,
Ah.
man, can I just say, like, I don't mind hoodie weather, because ultimately that means that like it is getting cooler. The one problem for me is like hoodie weather for me is like 6 months of the year. Because I don't wear a winter jacket. I wear a hoodie. So like I'll start wearing a hoodie in like October. So I'll wear it in October, December, January, February, March, and then come April, I'll like my a day or here, you sneak it out. Like you don't have to have it whenever you go, but then more of the month, like you have to wear it. So like that's 6 months of the year. Thank God I fucking love hoodies. But I also, it's not like it gives me one feeling, Sean. I think that that's really it. Like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like when I start to wear the hoodie, I'm like, oh, winter's coming. And then winter's here, and then winter goes, and I'll be like, oh, I don't need this hoodie. And it's almost like created this like weird spot where like I almost like don't like hoodies, but then I love hoodies. Does that make sense?
No, I get it because like I'm in that realm. I think the difference is right is that like fall and spring is that I got my hoodie on, I go outside, I do things, my hoodie's on, whatever. The winter months, it's at least for me, it's I got my hoodie on, I put my jacket on, I go outside, I do
Oh yeah,
things.
no,
I
I
come
don't do
in,
that.
my hoodie's still on. You know what I mean? Um, but no, I have so many damn hoodies. And I think that's part of it. Is that like I look forward to hoodie season so I can wear my hoodies because I got
Oh, dude, I got a fucking grip of hoodies. Don't get me wrong, but what I'm saying is like for some reason, like I won't wear like it's not cold enough yet. Like if it's like in the high 60s, I'm not wearing a hoodie. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we're not really any colder than that right now here. Like today it was probably 70 degrees. Like I'm not wearing a hoodie when it's 70. But if it's 50, yeah, I'm fucking wearing a hoodie. If it's 20, I'm definitely fucking wearing a hoodie. Then I'm probably wearing a hat too.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. Like if it's like 60, yeah, I'd say probably about like 60. Like I'm cool with that rocking a hoodie. Like I'll be comfortable. But if it's a little bit below 60, like
Get in there. Get in
55,
there.
54, I might have to throw a little bit of a hoodie on, you know.
Hey,
oh shit. Like if like right now, I'm coming up on some days where like the high might be 70. I'll probably just wear a hoodie at work all day.
Yeah, like I could still like wear a hoodie like in the 60s, but I'll probably be a little bit warmer than I would like. You know what I mean? That would be one of those ones where like a zip up would be nice because I could just open it up. You know what I mean? Maybe push a couple sleeves up and then I'll be Gucci. You know what I mean?
I think.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I was like saying this like last night. Actually, it's crazy that it's come back this quick in my life. But I was saying last night, I'm like, bro, if you're a company, right, nowadays in 20 fucking 23, okay, and you're putting out just hoodies, like not a zip up, just hoodies, like I'm sorry, but you're living in the fucking past. Like, what the fuck is the matter with you? Like, the minute that zip up hoodies became a thing, like, how on earth does anybody still put out like non-zip up hoodies? To me, it's literally trash. I don't get it. Like maybe I'm taking it way too hard of a line here, but like I really don't
Yeah.
understand it. Do I like the front pocket hoodies? Like they're fine. But like, dude, I'm not like holding hands in my fucking hoodie with somebody. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter to me anymore. Like I just want a zip up hoodie because it's better. Because then, like James said, you could undo that shit. And then you're just rocking a hoodie and it's open. Or
I
it's like
was-
3/4 open.
Here's
I
the
will
thing.
also say this though, Chris. I am a big fan of a pullover. Like I kind of prefer pullovers, but like for work aspects, a zip up is like the go-to because then I can just rip it off real quick because I get hot way faster while I'm working. Otherwise, I'd probably much rather have a pullover on.
I'm not like I literally think that all like pullovers should burn. That's not what I mean. I have some in my repertoire, but like if it comes down to it, like what?
You prefer a zip up,
and it should be an option. At the very least, like
So-
don't have like two hoodies and both of them are fucking.
Oh no,
hoodies.
no.
So that's what I'm saying.
You have to have like either one of each or two of each. You know what I mean? That way, depending on the scenario, you've got because I have I have a little bit of a thicker zip up, and I have a little bit of a thinner one, and I've got a little bit of a thicker pullover, and I've got a little bit of a thinner one for two different scenarios. You know what I mean?
Your zip up hoodies have one major flaw from a design standpoint. You lose a shitload of real estate on the chest.
But I don't see maybe that just adds to. I don't like the massive graphics on the front. I like the more simple. Like you can have a crazy wild print on the back, but like I would not mind like just like the logo or a slightly different logo. And I know that I'm saying that while I have like a massive Punisher shirt on, but like.
No, but I get you.
To like a classic hoodie vibe, like I'm cool with like a logo, a word. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah, like if we take a Palmer's Powders hoodie for example, the little like AP on the chest with his big logo on the back.
Yeah,
that works as a zip up or a pullover.
Yeah,
that's a design for that. But that's the thing. Like I've seen people print across the zipper, and it does sometimes work. But oftentimes that is the first part of your design that's going to flake off is when you go across, where the zipper is. So it does limit people to design options. That being said, I still agree with you. Like I'm game for something fly on the back and nothing on the front.
Yeah. I like that looks clean to me. And like, I don't see the back. And if it has a cool graphic on the back, I'm down.
I also do like full print though. Like I have a couple of track jackets, which are like no hood hoodies, right? And zips up to like a turtleneck almost. And I have one that's an Echo one that is full print. And so the design is front to back, all the arms, the whole nine. And it's pretty dope too.
No, like I feel like I would be more okay with that. You know what I mean? But like that's like more just a pattern of the actual, hoodie or sweater or whatever, right? Like I mean like the graphic. Like, you know what I mean? I don't like
well, it's like even a full like graphic
fan shit. You know what I mean? Like so I lost it probably 10 years ago. I don't know where it's gone, but I had a no effects hoodie, right? And it was a zip up, it was black. And on the front, it just had like a black, red, and white, like no effects. And it was a patch, basically an embroidered patch on the front. And then on the back, it was like a heavy petting zoo, right? But it was like the original, like eating lamb like the one that the EP came, like when you
Yep.
actually got like the fucking record, it would be that, and it had that on the back, and that was like lit, dude. Like I'm cool with that, but I don't think that I've ever had like I know that my snowboard boots would have like that same thing that you're talking about, like they're really noisy. And I would never wear a shirt like that, but like with your boots, dude, your pants are covering them and they're in the binding. So like, who cares? I didn't really care. I went for comfort and like durability and all these different things. But I know what you mean. It's like, you've seen those like Louis Vuitton shirts that have just like the LV like all over
Mhm.
the entire fucking thing, like that kind of a vibe.
Well, yeah,
I
or
wouldn't be against that, I
even
guess.
like they call it sublimation, but it's that design like you might see where maybe it's like a skull, for example, but it's like front to back, shoulders, arms, everything is the whole skull image. Like very, very big with like tapped out and shit. Used to do that kind of stuff all the time
Dude,
on
all
their
those things,
clothing.
man.
Like that literally that Echo jacket I was talking about, that was one of the lead products from Echo's line that was meant to be their attempt at doing a tapped out style. So like it was a thing, which it is so weird to think that that was like 15 or 20 years ago now.
It's
Man.
not it's not like one of those things you like to think about. I don't like to think about like what 20 years ago felt like. I wasn't like a fucking baby.
Well, here's the thing,
You know what I'm
Chris.
saying?
Like
Like 20 years ago, I was fucking an adult man.
I listen to a lot of classic rock, right? Like that's the like if I just have the radio station on, especially like in my work van, if I got the radio station on in the work van, it's gonna be the classic rock station. And like I'm I'm constantly confronted with the fact that all of these bands that I never in my life would have thought about hearing on a classic rock station are now played there. Why is
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Everclear on the classic rock station? I never thought they would be considered classic anything.
well, probably at the time, like you weren't like, yo, these guys will still be making music and they'll still be relevant to some degree. And like I think that they kind of are. So that could be part of it, right? Like, because when you're listening to stuff and it's new, like you have no idea, dude. That'd be like you seeing like oh, it's like, oh, look at this company. This company one day is going to be massive. I'm going to buy stocks when the
Well,
minute that they go public, and now I'm going to be rich when I'm fucking 50. Like,
let
you
me
don't think about it that
juxtapose
way.
that though with this idea, right? Like, why? How is it that I hear Everclear but I don't hear Bush?
Because Everclear
Same
had
era.
like multiple albums of success, and they had
S-
probably a
So
lot
did
more
Bush,
singles.
and
Nah,
Bush was probably bigger in their brief time than
but that's just
Everclear.
it though. It was brief, and I would actually put like one Everclear album from the same time as when Bush was famous was probably a bigger fucking album. Like I genuinely would say that. It had more bangers on it for sure too. And like I used to like Bush, like what before it was Bush X and shit. I remember like when that all happened, I was like, why are they changing the name? It's like, oh, there
I
was
didn't
already a
even
band
know
named
that
Bush.
was a thing.
I just think
Yeah,
it's
you didn't know
crazy
that?
though.
No.
What I think is crazy is just how the alternative and classic rock stations have just merged. You know what I mean? Like that's what it is now. Because like it's like back in the day, you used to have like the alternative rock station that would play like more of like the kind of newer rock music that's coming out, and then you'd have the classic rock, like either hour on that station, or you have just the classic rock station where now I listen to it and I think it's kind of going back to what you guys were saying. It's like all the alternative stuff that I would hear on the quote unquote alternative station, I'm now hearing on the classic rock station with all the classic rock music.
Yep.
And it's so weird, dude. The
Green Day is on
transition. Yeah.
there, Linkin
Yeah.
Park is on there, Metallica's on there, Alice in Chains,
Everything,
Stone
dude.
Temple Pilots, like it's all on the classic rock
Tool.
alongside, Jefferson Airplane, Rolling Stone,
Yeah.
The Doors,
Zeppelin.
Zeppelin, like
It's weird, dude, because you go from like a Zeppelin song to like a fucking like you like you're saying like a Metallica or like a newer like fucking like a Five Finger Death Punch or some shit, and you're like, wait, what?
So that's the thing. Like I do have a station in my local area that does that too, where
Where
it's
it's like
like
it's
their
not that
current alternative and classic rock. So like you'll hear like a brand new Shinedown song that just got released, and then they'll play like the Rolling Stones after.
yeah, that's
Um,
kind of what all of our stations have turned into. Like it's like they have like blocks where it like might be a block of like newer stuff and then like a block of classic and but it's all on the same station compared to back in the day you'd have to tune into two different stations to get those things.
what blows my mind now is that like the stuff that I remember as the classic rock, a lot of that is now getting heard on the oldie station. So it's like if I want
Yeah,
to hear some of
yeah.
that, I have to actually go actively find the oldies radio station because it's like, oh my god, like that 70s music, a lot of it's getting played over there now. And I'm like, what is going on? It's wild. I'm getting old. We all are getting old. It's crazy.
Dude, literally every single person that's listening to this right now,
You're
guess
old.
what? You're older than the last time you heard us.
Listen, yeah,
So
the crazy thing is that at the time you're hearing this, we are older than we were at the time we recorded this.
hell fucking
Ooh,
yeah, dude. Way
burn.
older at this point.
Yep.
Well, not
It's
way
just
older. It's all relative, I suppose.
it's just the science of aging.
But
And
dude,
if
speaking of science,
yeah,
dude,
yeah.
I want us to do some more experimentation with some snackage. And this whole time, that's kind of why I've been quiet. Like the first like part of the episode is because I've been doing some Google foo on some freeze dried snacks, dudes. And let me say there is some options. There are some options.
I I know I
I like
remember
options.
I've eaten freeze-dried ice cream and that was an experience. So I'm down to try more
Yeah,
freeze-dried
because Chris and
things.
I were able to try some freeze dried Skittles, and they were amazing,
I'm gonna
in my
scoop some up at
opinion.
the store this week.
Yeah,
So I'll
dude.
report back on
So
the next episode.
with that being said, I wanted to look up some other freeze dried snacks for us to try out. Sorry, I'm also preparing a dab.
Ooh,
Um,
good idea. I'll join you.
but yeah, I feel like we should do that before we get into this. That way, we got the munchy feeling going, and we get what we want to munch on. You know what I'm saying? Because dude, we got anything from freeze dried ice cream bars, freeze dried taffy, chocolate, other candy sorts. So we have plenty of things to choose from here. And they're fairly, decently priced. So we can grab a couple options and, do like an episode of snack sort of breakdown thing where it'd be like a cool little segment for the show, like maybe the beginning or the end of a show.
I,
We can
I
bust out a snack.
I know this. I'm not opposed to more freeze-dried ice cream because it'll bring me back to my childhood. Because I visited Houston's Space Center place when I was a kid with my grandmother and got to like bring home some of the astronaut snacks and stuff. And the freeze-dried ice cream was a trip.
Well, cheers, my dudes. Throwing down
Cheers.
some garlic
Fuck.
in.
Man, I like snacks, but honestly, like when we were at the Steel Valley meetup, that was the first time I ever tried them. And James bought like at the store, he bought like freeze dried Skittles, and they were pretty good, man. It was like such a different way to taste something that tasted the way that something else tasted. Like, you know what I mean? Like the flavor was
The
not
way you
changed.
worded that was so hilarious, dude.
So I
Yeah.
think what you were saying is, though the flavor is 100% what you expect to be a Skittle, the texture is 100% not what you're expecting.
Yeah, you'd be like, I'm not even eating a Skittle. And then you'd be like, oh wait, no, it
Same
tastes
exact
exactly right.
flavor, completely different texture.
Yeah.
It's cool, man, because like it's not like the Skittles we ate during the snack experience where like
Even
that
that
was a
was a
whole
different
other
thing.
texture. The flavors were not what we thought they were gonna
That
be.
there was no Skittleness to those. Like, if you would have told me they were a different brand gummy, I would have believed you. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't. If I was blindfolded and you told me those were Skittle flavored, I'd be like, no, they're not.
Yeah, I mean, they were bomb. They tasted really good.
Speaking of tasting really good, dude, Sean, Chris got to try this stuff, but this garlic cane diamonds I have right now
I'm dropping some
So
cheese whiz
tasty.
rosin myself.
Ooh, cheese whiz.
Whiz. Oh, actually, yeah, that reminds me. I'm gonna have to remember whenever we're done, because my wallet's not in here. I gotta fucking order some stuff here. I'm gonna have to remember to do that tonight.
Yeah, dude.
So it'll get shipped out tomorrow.
I'll remind you, my dude. I got you.
Yeah, I gotta remember. It's just the convenience factor is needed at this moment, so
Yeah. I get you.
I'll get there. But on that note, I got a little bit left of this on this cardo. Like I got some flour, which I know that it'll help me in the evenings. But for right now, this is what I need.
You can do delivery in your neck of the woods in Canada.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can go to the store, but it's just they don't have like a cardo. If I wanted to go get dabs, I can go get dabs. If I want whatever else, for some reason they just don't have cardos or like disposables.
You know, I mean, if it's not in demand for a location, you don't carry it, or if there's a local ordinance.
No, I think it's actually a provincial law.
So yeah, there are. You can definitely have local ordinances that'll say like we can't do this or we can't do that. I mean, some of the newly legal states have banned edibles, for example, because they're
Yeah,
not
there was like a
comfortable with it.
slower roll up for some of those things here before you could legally get them. So like when it was first legalized, like all you could get was basically flour and maybe some like pills. Like you might be able to get like some pill that might have
I'll
had
tell you what,
CBD
though,
or whatever.
those things I've back in the day they used to have these things. What were they called? What were the tablets called, Sean? The early ones.
Oh, the Marinol.
Marinol, yeah, dude. I'll tell you what, bro. I don't remember how I got a hold of some of them, but I tried those one time, dude, and that's gnarly. And that shit stays in your system for quite some time.
You really you found it effective?
I did. Well, as that, and I also like was partaking on top of it.
Okay,
So
yeah,
it's like,
yeah. All right.
like
Yeah,
I got more stoned than I normally would have. Like it hit me weird.
because my back in the day when I had my rap group Sons of Creation, my rap partner Wise was prescribed Marinol for his Crohn's disease, and he didn't find it to be an effective therapy to just take them, on a regular basis like prescribed. So instead, what he would do is he would just save them, and then randomly when he wanted to get more fucking rammed from smoking some weed, he'd take like 3 or 4 of his Marinols, wait 30 minutes, and then like smoke a blunt and be fucking stupefied.
That's what happened. I took like 3 or 4, smoked a joint or something, and then I was fucking.
Yeah, it's weird. Like people expect if they took Marinol, they were going to actually get stoned, and as I experienced,
it wasn't that. It was because it was the fucking high from the weed plus the fucking body high from the fucking
exactly
thing. So it was like I felt like I was melted into wherever I was sitting, on top of being just like all spacey because I was stoned. You know what I mean?
think
So
I think that like the Marinol
it like doubled up the fucking high or some shit.
Yeah, like I think that the Marinols
I didn't like it though.
it's a synthetic THC, and I think it like affects your receptors differently. And so when you get both of them together, it's like all your receptors get filled, and you're like,
I never did it again, dude.
You come to Jesus moment from weed, All
right, let's get into these snacks though, dude. Okay, I've got a couple sites pulled up just so we could see like what variations of things we can choose from. There's this one site that has this cool thing where it's like a little small sampler where it comes with a couple different things in it. I'll just do this. I'm gonna screen share.
Yeah, share screen so our patrons can get a good look at
so
what we might be thinking about.
There's this little guy here. So it's like a little 4-pack where you get some of those little nerd clusters, some Skittles, a couple Jolly Ranchers, and some fruit roll-ups.
Yo, those fruit roll-ups look wild.
Right? So it's like you can get little 4-pack where you get a little taste of each one, which I think could be cool to start. You know what I mean? And I feel like we can all easily get those 4 candies in natural form. Like you have the nerd clusters where you're at, right, Chris?
Nerd clusters. Yep.
And Skittles, the Jolly Ranchers, and Fruit Roll-Ups. Those you get those anywhere at the grocery store. So like I feel like we could
Yes.
do one of these and do the comparison between the freeze dried and the normal. Easy, right?
Love that.
So that's a possibility. This site's got a couple other things. There's variety isn't as vast,
Are
but they've
those
got
are
like
those sour gummy worms?
yeah, those are like some trolleys. Look at
Holy
how big they
smokes!
are,
Look at
dude.
how that's what I was just thinking. Like those are
They
huge.
turned into like Cheeto Puffs, dude.
That's crazy.
Then you got like your apple, your peach, or your watermelon rings. These are straight Jolly Rancher freeze-dried bazooka bubblegum.
I'm really intrigued by
Um,
the Jolly Rancher because it's a hard candy. Like,
Yeah,
can you chew it now, or do you still have to
I don't
suck
know.
on it?
It might just be like a big crunchy,
Dude,
airy sort of
that
situation.
freeze dried Neapolitan ice cream,
Yeah,
water taffy.
that could be
What?
fire.
Dude, I would try that.
Of course, you got your Skittles.
Apple
Um,
pop candy? What?
Yeah, like your caramel apple suckers,
Oh,
just
that's
freeze
what that
dried.
is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, your fruit roll up. You've got your
Pickle flavor? What? Ew.
Ew, yeah, I'm not interested in that. Airheads. Um, yeah,
Dude, mystery candy bag. Boom, right there.
which one? This one?
Yeah.
Well, I kind of want to know what everything is in it so we can get the other side of it. And
I guess
these
that's the
lemon heads.
TikTok mystery candy. That looks
Yeah.
like they're all
And then
together.
there's this website where these ones aren't freeze dried, I don't think, but they've got Airhead Bites, popcorn taffy, big hunk.
Bit of honey freeze dried? Oh wow.
They got caramel apple, caramel M&Ms.
Oh man.
What else they have? Cherry cola taffy, cinnamon taffy, peeps. I'm guessing these are Airheads. These are Starburst, Jolly Ranchers. Oh, dude, those the fruit version of a Tootsie Roll, the fruities,
Yes.
the fruit punch one.
Oh, and high chews.
Where's the Haichu at?
So they just like have to spell
yeah,
these all
high
different
chews.
so like they don't get in trouble.
Yeah, pretty much. Laffy Taffy. Lucky Charms marshmallows. So you mean you picked out the marshmallows from Lucky Charms and freeze dried them? I might have to just get some of those just for myself.
I would love to know what that's all about.
Of course, they got the clusters.
Look at
some
how
more
fucked the Milk
Skittles.
Duds got.
Yeah, the Milk Duds. Snickers.
Dude, I bet you the Milk Duds are fucking awesome.
Strawberry cheesecake taffy.
Dude, Tootsie
What?
Rolls. Yeah, high chews. What else they have? This is the last page, I think. Twix.
Yeah, I don't know about
Skittles.
Unicorn
Dude,
twist.
Werther's caramels, bro.
Oh wow.
Starburst. And then we got this website too, which has got quite the selection. Lemon heads, the big ones. They have like the ice cream stuff too, some saltwater taffies, Oreo ice cream bar. Dude,
Yo.
oatmeal cream pie,
Can I just tell you guys something that's gonna blow your fucking minds?
Reese's ice cream.
that. Yeah, Sean. Yeah.
Your boy ate an Oreo and enjoyed it.
What? How?
So
How is it prepared?
we bought the mint Oreos.
Dude, the mint Oreos are
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I ate one regular and then we froze them and oh my god. I may have to change
James,
my
I'm just
opinion.
gonna tell you this about like all these snacks and stuff, bro. I don't need to like give my input. Like I don't care. All of them are probably going to be super unique and interesting. So like whatever you feel, like no pressure at all. Like legit no pressure. Like I'm not saying like no pressure.
No,
Like
but
I mean
like
no
I
pressure.
also I want everybody to pick out something that really pops out that they want to try. You know what I mean? That way we each get a little, you know what I mean, input. I don't want to just be like,
Okay,
oh,
well
I'm gonna
then you can put milk duds in there because like you guys were wowed by it, and I'm like, yo, the little fucking craters of chocolate. Like I'm in. So like I'd
Well,
like milk
yeah.
duds if we can get
I,
that.
I like milk duds, but I don't like what they do when you eat them normal. So it does make me very interested
Yeah,
in what
yeah.
milk duds are going to be like freeze
Dude,
dried.
the little hostess Easter cakes.
Yeah, I was looking at that. The fucking little Easter Nabisco or little
Uh
Debbie cakes.
I don't know if I'd like that. Like I would obviously try it, but I don't know if I'd like that.
what else? This place has quite a few things. Of course, they got their Skittles, peach rings. Oh, these are bundles, so it's got like all the different flavored rings, all the different flavored taffies, the different kinds of Skittles. Um, chocolate cream pie,
Do you like key lime pie
strawberry
bites?
shortcake ice cream cones.
I just don't know, man. But yeah, I would try them. Just don't know.
There's so many fucking things, dude.
Caramel crunch bars for
Yeah,
Twix.
Three Musketeers, Snickers. Dude, look how puffed up the rings get, dude. And look at how like I like how they show like that they kind of get all crumbly. Oh, there's a whole nother page, boys. Of course, the gummy worms. Starburst, I'm guessing.
I'll say
More
this. I think my
Skittles.
vote is that to start with freeze dried, we should get that fucking sampler pack.
Yeah, I feel like we go back to who's this? Mystical Candy Factory. Shout outs.
Because that
And we
four
get this
pack
guy. We get
makes
this
a
guy
bunch
to
of
start,
sense.
and then like I'll look up for like some chocolate variations for like the next run. You know what I mean? So we'll start off with like some candy, like fruity stuff, and then the next round we'll do some chocolates and shit. Yeah.
I love that. I think that's a great
Yeah, I'm
idea.
down.
Hell yeah.
So look forward to that, ladies and gentlemen. Us checking
Dude,
out
that's
some
gonna be
different
sick.
freeze dried foods next, coming up in a future episode. I'm enjoying this idea of experiencing these different opportunities like this because I mean, for one, the fact that people are just like, yeah, fuck it, let's freeze dry it, let's see what happens. Like,
Like what happens when we do this?
yeah, dude, like I've eaten freeze dried fruit. It's delicious. I mean, like I said, I'm pretty goddamn confident when we did those strawberry Kit Kat bites that was freeze dried strawberry in there. Um, like it's a fantastic. So I can imagine some of the things that happen when you freeze dry other foods. I mean, freeze dried weed is amazing. So let's go. Damn it. I keep knocking over my mech.
Don't do
All
it.
right.
Stop.
I keep putting it in front of me and then I can't see it because the microphone is in the way. And so I move my arm and I hit it and I'm like, you gotta stop doing that.
Dude, I will say that like I'm rocking an MVP move by drinking a coffee right now. It's still warm. Oh,
Mm,
it's like my lifeblood right now.
I love a good coffee. I had a Dunkin' Donuts coffee the other day, and it was very apparent to me why people are so into just their flavored coffees. Because just plain Dunkin's coffee is awful.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna give you some pushback on that. As a person that also recently had a Dunkin' Donuts coffee from not that far from Sean's house, and then later a bit further away from Sean's house. So I got 2 Dunkin's coffees, and I'll say that it's like really, it's not bad. Like if I need a coffee and that's what I get, I'll be like, nice. I'm not like, man, this is horrible. Man, this is horrible. Man, this is horrible. I'll just be like, that is a coffee. Let's go. I'm
Order
good.
has been placed, boys.
It's
Nice.
fire. It's not gas station bad. I'm gonna say that.
Yeah, or like even your average fast food restaurant has like way worse coffee than
I'll agree with that. I think
so like a quick coffee on the go.
my
I think the Dunkin's is really not that bad.
my thing is that like I grew up at a time when Dunkin's coffee was different than it is now. Because I mean I'm from the land of Dunkin'. This is where it was started.
Yeah.
Um, I remember when it was just Arabica beans, and the blend they use now is significantly different. And I think that when you're a drinker of, any of the flavor shots or the syrups to flavor your coffee from them, it
Mhm.
I think it masks the extra bitterness that's there in a
Well,
way.
okay, but how do you take your coffee, right? Because I take 1 cream, 1 sugar, so like that is always like it could be like a bit on the bitter side, and like that will dampen it, and I just get like more coffee without the bitter,
Yeah.
personally.
I do what would be considered, because like I grabbed a medium in this instance, regular with 1 cream. So that's 3 sugars and 1 shot of cream.
Dang, dude, I got 1 cream, 1 sugar when I was there, both of them, and yeah, dude, it was fine coffee. Like I wouldn't be like, yo, you gotta get Dunkin', but if somebody was like, yo, man, all these fucking, and it's like, are you getting gas station coffee? I feel like get Dunkin's, dude. Like
Here's the thing, right?
get
Like
Dunkin' Donuts coffee over any gas station.
I'm gonna be
That's for damn sure.
controversial. I think that the McDonald's that was across the street has a better coffee.
Well, see, in Canada, I would agree. Like Canadian McDonald's coffee, for whatever reason, it's different than what you guys have at your like in your coffee places or McDonald's, whatever. And it's really good, dude. That's what I'm drinking right now. Like this is McDonald's blend, and I just buy it in like the big
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
tin,
The little
and I just
McCafe
rock
blend
it.
there, yeah.
Yeah, dude. And like for me, it's like it's fine coffee, dude. Like I don't need to. I know I've like never really got into this spending big money on coffee because I'm just like I might just treat it the same way, you know?
Well, I mean, shit, man. I Most of the time at home, I'm drinking Walmart brand K cups.
Honestly, I'm not a coffee snob at all. I'll just drink whatever's around normally. But if it's like something I don't like, I just either won't finish the cup or I just won't have any more. You know what I mean? It's like,
Because dude, that would even be the same for me with iced tea as well. Like with iced tea,
yeah, I'm
there's like
not very.
certain brands that I'm like more of a fan of, and like other ones I'd be like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it. I don't know
I'm
if
a
I should
Lipton
accept it.
guy. Just give me
Dude, I like
Lipton
all the
tea.
stuff that's like I like Nest tea, I like Arizona iced tea.
Yeah, well,
Those
yeah,
are
I
like the
like
main
those.
ones.
The like a Lipton tea, Arizona tea, or like Nestle's okay.
I like that True Leaf iced tea where it's like really
Yeah, it's all
like
right.
it's more tea. It's not as
Just give
sweet,
me a green tea from Arizona
but
or like a
I
lemon
do love
tea.
an Arizona green tea. Oh,
Dude, the lemon tea used to
Dude,
be the
any
only
other
thing I'd
teas I
ever
like.
drink.
Bro, I'll literally any one of their teas. I'm
dude,
like,
the Arnold
yup.
Palmer.
Oh, dude, no, the pink lemonade one, bro. The one that was half pink lemonade, half tea. That's my jam.
Yeah, that one's a banger too.
Or
Honestly,
their
I can't even
the
think of one that
strawberry
I didn't like.
lemonade and
Oh
tea
yeah,
one
the
was good
Gold
too.
Bear.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think that I like the like the sodas, like the pops that they
Oh,
make.
the
The
shack
Shack
sodas or whatever.
soda.
Yeah, those are gross.
Those are not
Oh,
good. They're
I've
so
never
flat,
even
bro.
I've never even seen
dude, the
those. What?
strawberry kiwi fruit one though, just the straight strawberry kiwi one, that one was pretty solid. I used to drink that one quite a bit.
I know
I just
this.
wanted more carbonation. Like, dude, it was like a regular can of pop. Like your average can of pop has like we'll just throw a number at it, which makes no sense, but every sip, it's 100 pops in your mouth. Like you feel the 100 little fizz points of like the carbonation in your mouth. With the Shack soda, you'd feel like 5. You'd be like, "Is this 5? No. Oh, I got." Like that's how I felt it was.
I've never even seen this, so
I never
lucky
drank
me.
them.
But
Yeah, dude.
yeah,
You are missing out. Honestly, it's
if
like the weakest thing that Arizona companies ever put out.
if
In
you've
my
never
opinion.
tried it, you've got to get your hands on the Arizona Prescription Energy. That is
That one was pretty
probably
good.
one of my favorites. It's like a white tea with like a mango puree, and it's delicious. So good.
Dude, just the straight mango one was good.
Oh yeah, they're just like mango juice one.
Mhm.
That one can get you in trouble if you want to get yourself a little drunk, because you could take that and mix it with just about any booze you want and it's gonna taste good.
Yep.
Especially like, if you're a vodka
The
drinker.
watermelon one too. People used to do that shit with the water or the grape.
Yeah, any of those really. Which
You can even do it with the teas, bro. Have you had
which
the hard teas yet?
no.
I haven't had any of them other.
They came out with hard teas.
I avoid any of those like malt beverage things.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of malty beverages either.
If I'm honest, the last time I was like truly in love with those hard malt liquor type things, they were when Sublime was still around. Do you remember the Sublimes, Chris?
Nah,
They
I
may
don't know
not
if
have
we
made
had
it to
those.
Canada. So they were made by Long Beach Brewing Company in association with the band Sublime. And they were a early malt beverage that had like real fruit pulp in them. And yeah, so you'd buy them, they'd have the Sublime logo right on the front. And they were like 5 or 6% alcohol, and you drink these delicious fruity fucking things and get wasted really fast. And yeah, as a young man, I got incredibly obliterated because you used to be able to get these sampler packs. It'd be the 12 packs. You get the three flavors, and oh my god, every one of us would all get a 12 pack of those and just get dumb drunk because you drink them too fast. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like
you
this
know what
is an
else, man?
early
Like,
day
here's
Mike's
the thing.
hard.
So I can remember like back, this could even be, my late high school days at like parties and like having friends that would always like play this game where it'd be like you get iced, and I'm sure that other people have played it. I don't think that we were original in doing so. So like it'd just be like somebody would just literally flash like a Smirnoff Ice in your face, and if that happened, you just have to chug it. So somebody would just be like, and you just be like, fuck. You could be like make conversation, then you'd like crack the Smirnoff Ice, and you just chug it.
No, we never did that, but I do remember many a time drinking those.
But
And
like the reason why, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Now I'm back. So because of that, right? Sometimes like you'd end up getting iced like fucking 6 times in a night, and normally you would be just drinking beer or like hard liquor with like whatever. And dude, I would wake up extra hungover, even like as a younger person when I would like rarely ever get hungover because of all the sugar. I'd just be like fucking crushing back all this extra sugar like throughout the night that I'd like wake up and I'd be like fucking just like ugh.
I,
Like I had this crazy sugar high along being like drunk, and like now I'm just like fucking I need just anything like water, more
I
sleep.
I learned to stay away from shit like that at a party that friends of mine threw when I got so shit faced because I was drinking both a regular Budweiser and a Mike's Hard at the same time.
Yeah,
And oh no.
I
Oh, I
couldn't do
got so
this. I
sick.
could if I was gonna be drinking. I couldn't do the sugary stuff. I would just drink beer and maybe have a couple shots. But I couldn't do like Mike's Hards all night or like
Nah,
fucking
man, the
whatever.
hangover would
Dude,
be
it was
vicious,
too
dude.
terrible. Not only that, but that would be the thing that would cause me to puke 90% of the time.
Exactly.
Like the one way I could maybe do it is if I had like a 4-pack of like Mike's Hard Lemonade, but then I also had like a smaller bottle of vodka and ice. I would then like pour a little bit of vodka in, and then my like mixer would be the Mike's Hard Lemonade and then have the ice. So there'd just be a little bit stiffer, and I wouldn't have to have as many, and I wouldn't just get like hammered by like all the sugar in
Nah.
those things. You know what
Okay,
I'm saying?
okay. That's
I wouldn't be able to do it that way.
I had never thought of doing that, but now
Because it's not
you
like they're strong. Like I can handle way stiffer drinks than that. So like pour fucking even an ounce, just 1 ounce.
you got me thinking that's a hell of a way to make a White Claw better.
I've never actually had a White Claw.
I hate seltzer, so
I don't like
it's just not
seltzer
I'm not
either.
a big seltzer guy either. It's got a very weird taste.
Yeah,
Dude, I didn't even like Perrier. I don't think that Perrier is seltzer.
I don't
Yeah.
like any
I think it's Perrier soda water, right?
Yeah, I
yeah,
think so,
soda
yeah.
water to me is just so weird without like
It's just
It's
bubbly,
like bitter.
fucking.
it
It's
is.
like this
It's
like bubbly
it's
bitter
very like
weirdness.
kind of like bitter, but like also it's got
It's
a very
TV
distinct
static.
taste.
It tastes like TV static.
So yeah, I guess that's an interesting way to put it, but
It
It
tastes
also
like
kind of does fit.
It's got a
it
very
tastes like when
yeah.
your foot falls asleep from sitting on the toilet too long.
Yeah, it's got a very specific like non-taste,
It's terrible.
if that makes sense. Like
Exactly.
it makes like whatever you're tasting like less
Tasty.
flavorful.
Like
Yeah.
yeah. Here's the thing, right? If
That's
if
like
you
dry,
you'd
it's
think that
dry
would
is
be
what
the
it is.
exact
It's
opposite
dry.
of what you wanted. You
yeah,
know what
like
I mean?
if that's how you need to drink your water to drink your water, then okay. I mean, whatever. But I'm honestly I'm really intrigued by that shit air up. Have you guys seen this stuff yet?
What? Oh, the air thing where when you drink, it shoots the flavor sense into your nose. So
Yeah,
whatever you're
dude.
drinking tastes like what you're smelling.
Oh, I remember seeing
seen
that
it-
somewhere
I've seen
on a
them
video or
around.
something.
And
Yeah,
it makes sense because if you think about it, majority of your flavor senses come from your nose anyway. So why wouldn't whatever you're smelling affect what you're drinking, especially if it's an intense like puff of air
Exactly.
directly into your nose?
Exactly. And I'm so intrigued. Like I kind of want
Should we get some and try them?
and try
Should
it.
should we all get one and try it?
I'm super intrigued. Like we
Get
should
what? Sorry.
Should we all try to find one of these things and try
Get
it?
what though? Like what is it?
It's called Air Up. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's called Air Up. So it's a water
Oh,
bottle.
yeah,
The
right,
water
so-
bottle with the little flavor puck that you
All right,
smell.
hold on. Let me.
I'm back on the train. I'm back on the train.
All right.
Because the interesting thing, the thing that intrigues me is that I guess they've got like hundreds of different flavors to choose from. So like you could just like carry a couple of these little flavor discs with you,
Let's
fill
see
your
how
water bottle up and be like, I want to taste, cherry flavor, pop your little
So
cherry
like, are
flavor
you
ring.
smelling this shit?
Yeah, so basically there's a ring on top of the mouthpiece, and when you're ready to drink and taste your flavored water, you pop the little ring up. That releases the scent so that as you're drinking, you're inhaling this aroma of the cherry flavor, thus flavoring your
All
water.
right. Let's see how much these things are.
Dude, honestly, like, is it
All right.
weird that part of me thinks like, man, that sounds like it's gonna turn out to be bad for you.
For a starter set, like your starting base thing, it's like $40. It comes with 1 bottle and 3 pack of flavors.
What flavors does it give you? Or do you get to choose?
Hold on.
And like, how many does like a replacement pack come? Like, how can you buy the other ones? You know what I mean?
You can. So you can choose from watermelon, cherry, peach, lemon, apple, blueberry, cucumber. And that's the ones that are free. And then you can upgrade to basil, lemon, orange, vanilla, raspberry, lemon, passion fruit, mango, orangeade, iced tea, peach, wild berry, or strawberry lemongrass for like a $5 to $2 fee, depending on the pack.
So for maybe
Some of those
$45.
sound really gross to me. But like, yeah, it doesn't seem like crazy.
But yeah, like that's crazy. Think about it, right? Like pop a little blueberry on, you taste blueberry. Switch it off, put the cherry one on. Now you taste cherry, and the whole time the water in the bottle is
And
just
yeah, and
plain
this is
clean
just for
water.
their flask. They also have a stainless bottle for $60, and it's a smaller one.
Yeah, I know. Some of the YouTubers and stuff that I follow have used it and swear it's actually legit. It does exactly what they say it does. It works as advertised. So I've been intrigued. I've thought about buying one just to mess with it. So I'm down to buy myself one so I can fuck with it because
I might maybe. I don't
you
know.
know.
This seems.
I mean,
kinda-
like, here's the thing, right, James? Like, unless you are like also like like I guess addicted to the bubbles from drinking like soda pop, or like those kinds of drinks, like it might be able to like get you sneak in like 3-4 waters a day because you're like, yo, it's just lemon, fucking beautiful,
I've actually been
whatever.
drinking a lot more water and a lot less soda the past few days, to be honest, or past like week. I'm actually kind of
Nice.
proud of myself. I
Ah,
still
good
sneak
for
at
you.
least like one soda in because I need a little flavor and some bubbles. But at work, I've actually been pounding about like 3 or 4 bottles of water more than I normally do.
Well, so here's a crazy thing. Like
Hydration.
I'm glad this just came up. I've been thinking a lot about drinking water lately, right? I have this cup. It's a 32-ounce cup. So technically speaking, my daily water intake should be 2 of these a day. So 64 ounces of water. If I'm awake for 16 hours, that equates to only 4 ounces of water per hour that I need to drink. That's 4 shots worth of water.
Yeah,
If
no, it's nothing.
Like, yeah, it's a half a cup of water. If you think about it like that, it is genuinely easy to drink a half a cup of water every hour.
You're not wrong. That is basically simplicity.
And that's
Like
your
right
64
there.
ounces of water every day in
Is
the
that a lot?
16
I thought you
hours
were
you're
supposed to
awake.
have more than that.
They say they what is it?
8
8
glasses?
glasses? Yeah, 8 glasses. And the glass is usually equated as a 8-ounce cup, which equates to 64 ounces.
There you go, man. All right, so
How long do these things last, though, is my question.
I'm at
like when you open it up.
Yeah, like once you put it on there, you know what I mean? How long does the fucking pod last you?
That's why I want to kind of buy it and screw with it because I feel like if it's a bust and they wear out
Is
quickly,
it, do you have to, is it like you have to squeeze the bottle for it to work? Or is it just because it's open and you're like putting your nose right next to
yeah,
it and
my
smelling
understanding
it?
is you pop it up and that allows the scent out so that you can now smell it while you're
Okay, yeah,
drinking.
I see it. I see it now. They've got like
And
a
then
little
if you just
breakdown.
close it, you'll just drink plain water out of the bottle. So my thinking is if you're using it appropriately, right? You pop it open, you take a drink, you close it, put your bottle down. It should last a decent amount of time. Um, but that's kind of the part that I want to mess with is see how it works in the long run. Because at the end of the day, like hearing that it's maybe $40, $45, something like that for a package. If that's what it ends up costing me to fuck around with it, and then I end up with just a cool little water bottle, then that's good enough for me. It was worth it to find out. And if it does end up being something I like, then maybe once in a while I re-up on some flavors, and now I got that in my repertoire. It might really be helpful, like, my work gets their water, from a supplier, big water bubbler style, um, and it's like a third party distributor, so it's probably sat in that bottle for a while before it gets to us. It does taste a little funky, and, like, it'd be really convenient if I could just have a bottle like that to throw the water at work in out of
Like,
the
well, the
bubbler.
water's testing clear, but it has like this weirdness. I use this and now it's like gone and it's testing clear and it tastes like grape.
Yeah, like, if it just tasted like fruit instead of funk, I'd be happy with that. Like I literally have to bring my own water from home because my water tastes better. Although
Dude,
full disclosure on water, right? I have one of those, those Brita distributor, like not distributor, that's the wrong word. Uh no, it's not the pitcher, but it's like the big
cooler
carafe that you can
thing.
like fill and then it filters it so you have like a large amount,
Yeah,
a
like you
decanter.
can put it in your fridge if you want.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
like the Britas?
Yeah, I have one of those, right? So I'm gonna admit a moment of my own stupidity. For the first year of owning one, I never installed the filter correctly. I just put it in. I never twisted it in.
Oh, so you just been getting
So I was just like getting like quarter filtered water, you know what I mean? Because it would just rush right through and past it. So the first time I actually put it in place and started to fill that thing, I was like, man, this
This takes
thing's
forever to
filling
fill.
really slow.
Yeah. You're probably like, wait, did I plug it?
Like, and then it slowly hit me. I went, you goofy goober. You never installed it correctly the first 2 times you've put the filter in this thing.
hey man, shit happens.
Uh,
It's like those people that get those air filter things and they open them and set them up. And then like after like months of having them, they see a video and realize that they never actually opened up the thing and took the
took the
filter out and
wrapper off the
unwrapper.
filter.
Yeah. And unwrapped it.
Well, that's like I will always love that when I moved into this place, I love my landlord. He's my dog, you know what I'm saying? But as smart as he is about some things, I've learned he's not very bright about other things.
It's
So
usually how it goes.
for example, he tells me like, yeah, the water filter on the fridge needs to be changed. Is we've never changed it since we got it. All right, bet, cool. So I get the water filter and everything, and then I go to change it. Yeah, I guess the water filter needed to be changed because there was never one to begin with. There was just like, you install this here if you don't have a water filter thing. There was never a water filter ever installed. Or my favorite, ant traps, right? He's like, yeah, ant season's coming up. Obviously, we live in the woods. You saw Chris, like,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
ants can be a bit of a pain in the ass. So he threw down some ant traps, and the first year I'm like, yeah, these ant traps aren't doing that good. So the next year I get them and I go to open them, and then I look at them and I go, wait a minute, did he ever open these ant traps? So I go to check the ant traps. They were closed. They were fucking
They've
closed.
never been used.
They'd never been opened. He just put ant traps down and didn't open them. I was like, well, that explains it.
Nice.
So pop those open. Now I got fresh ant traps. I love that shit. Like, we all have those moments. Like, I think to myself even today, where it's like, I used to be so smart about computer stuff. And now there are things that happen where I'm like, why is this so difficult for me to understand? Oh man.
I'll tell you what, dudes. I'm pretty litty, but I think I'm gonna go for another. What do you think?
I'm thinking that I'm just pretty stoned, to be honest already.
Dude,
Pretty
the
the shed
main
time effect
reason
is in
the main reason
set.
is because I've got this stuff in here that is so tasty, and I like the way that the packaging looks too. It's super like like hippie vibes, but dude, this blue banana, bro.
Ooh,
Why doesn't it want to focus? Too much light going on right now. There we go. Super sick looking packaging. Of course,
it's
Bear Labs.
mad colorful.
But dude, this stuff. Oh, super smelly, super tasty. It smells like some Blue Dream with what I think it's a Blue Dream banana OG cross.
Mm.
At least that's what I'm hoping it is, and that's what I'm telling myself it is because I love both those strains. And it is very tasty. Oh, that's too much.
Those
Ben
blueberry
Glavin has to
terps.
take a break for a little bit. He's been coming out to play a little too often lately. Dude, Ben Glavin was going ham in Ohio. I'll tell you that much.
Making an appearance.
Yeah, he is in full force, dude, for sure.
I mean, the beautiful thing is, you took that little week off, ripped the bag a whole bunch.
Dude, I'll tell you what, bro. Going back to the bag reminded me that you can get just as high off a bag as you can a dab. You know what I mean? And I'm not just one bag. I mean off a bowl, which usually consists for me of anywhere from 3 to 4 really nice bags. You know what I mean? And then by the 4th or 5th one, sometimes it's about done. But even then, dude, it's so tasty. Will knock you back in your seat still if you take like back-to-back rips like I do. Because dude, I just take down bags quick. 3, 4 rips and I'm done ski, you know?
Yeah,
I don't
bags
I
to
don't
the
play.
face
Yeah,
is a
dude.
lifestyle.
The way to go, dude, honestly, like for me, is like with the way that my tolerance is, dude, I have to like ingest copious amounts, but that's just because I did it to myself. And it would be nice to, kind of cut back, but I like to sesh, bro, like that's my big thing. And I think it's since mainly consume like by myself majority of the time, it's harder to sesh when you're just by yourself because the sesh is a lot shorter compared to like if you got a bunch of homies hitting, because then you got the whole time they're ripping the stuff while you're just chilling, and it makes the session last longer overall. And I just really enjoy that ritual of having a session. You know what I mean? So I recreate
Yes.
it on my own by just partaking in copious amounts. you know, I
Oh,
think I made that's crazy. I just made that realization right now. But
I
that's
get
what I
it
do.
though. I get it because like
I feel like you know what I'm saying, John, because you've been in the sesh
I
like
was the
life
host,
for a
bro. I
long
get it,
time.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, dude, even to this day, like
I'm sure you understand it too a little bit, Chris,
I find myself even to this day where like I will pack a bowl, right? And like I've been getting really heavy into playing Doom mods. I just learned how heavy like the Doom modding community was and like how crazy different people can make the game just based off the engine that's available to them. So I've been messing around with some of the stuff people have done and it's been pretty goddamn cool because you're playing whole new games. And I'll sit there with a bowl packed, ripping it, playing, ripping it, playing, ripping it, playing, ripping it, playing, bowls cashed. All right, pack the bowl again, ripping it, playing, ripping it, playing, ripping it, playing. I'm just in a rotation with myself. It's just me
Yeah.
in the game in the rotation.
That's kind of what I do. Is like I'll when I'm playing like Call of Duty or something, I'll sit down, I'll rip a dab, play like 3, 4 rounds, back out, rip another dab, play another couple rounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I do.
It's fun, man. Which honestly, I think I might do after this because I think it's double XP, and I got to knock out the rest of this battle pass before the season's over. You know what I mean? Get my money's worth.
Yeah, man.
I was playing a little bit last night with Ryan, and dude, it feels good just to get in there and just like unplug my mind for a little bit and just fucking zone out.
I totally get it. That's why I've been doing the Doom mods, man. Cause like you just you don't have to think, you just zone out, you play a little of this boom boom, smashy smashy, explodey explodey, and then you move on and do something that's actually important again.
Dude, honestly, like this is the thing. I like playing video games, but sometimes I'm just like not in like the mind like to play them, right? And then sometimes I'll get like that like want to play them. And I've been playing Rocket League lately, and like I feel like I want to just like start playing video games a little bit more regularly, like not like grinding it out on a bunch of shit, but just like at least like take like a few hours every week to play a few different video games. But I've been
Allow it
playing
to be
Rocket League,
your
bro.
like release for a little while.
Yeah, like I want to do it so like I'm not thinking about a million other things, and I'm just thinking about the video game and just chilling. Um, but yeah, I've been playing Rocket League, and that's probably the hardest game I've ever tried to
Dude,
learn how to play.
you know who you need to talk to, bro? you need to hit up Mr. AJ Holland.
Yeah, no, I know that he fucking grinds that
because
shit out. He used to.
he
He probably still
throws down,
does.
dude. Oh yeah, for sure. I think I see like he's on every now and then. Dude, you need to hit him up. Be like, hey, dude, can you give me some pointers on this shit? And I'm sure he could fucking coach you
Well,
up
I've
to
been
a fucking
playing with like some friends. They're just all so good though. So like just trying to play with them is like,
yeah. Because I tried to play with AJ a few times and I could not keep up, bro.
yeah, like dude, man, that's like the most next level game. I mean, the amount of like airplay there is, like there can be a game where you barely even get the chance to hit the ball as a beginner with like people. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's intense, dude. Like their movement in that game is so crazy. I don't understand how they do it. You know what I mean? Like the way they fly around the fucking course and shit, just off of boosts and timing and spinning and fucking kicking the ball perfectly to hit the goal or bounce off of somebody. Dude, it's
I would
gnarly, dude.
I would almost wager that all of the people who excel at that are three-dimensional thinkers.
I I'm not a scientist, so I wouldn't be able to tell you, but who knows, dude?
Well, it's interesting. I had never thought about it until I'd seen a small video about it, but like when you think, do you think in pictures or words?
I don't know. Depends. Like, give me a scenario.
Like if you're when all right, you're thinking about what you're going to do after the show. Are you thinking about it in pictures or words? Are you seeing pictures of what you're going to be doing in your head, or are you just thinking the words in your head? Or are you a three-dimensional thinker? Do you physically see three-dimensional images in your head of those things and not just a flat image?
I don't know. Like now that you've asked me that question, and I'm thinking about what I'm doing after. Like that's different than like if I just had been, thinking about it without you mentioning it, right? Like, but I'm thinking about how like I haven't ate dinner and I'm gonna make dinner after you said it. But I wasn't necessarily thinking about that previous.
But like that's the thing. Like I know myself, I'm way more of a words thinker. I might even see the words in my head more than I would see images. Like similarly, I'm thinking if I'm gonna have to go upstairs, I'm gonna have to cook dinner. I'm thinking of it more in the spoken contextual aspect in my head. I'm hearing
Oh yeah. Oh, if that.
the
Oh, sorry.
the
I'm
inner
an inner voice
monologue.
guy for that for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. No, that would be me. Sometimes I'll even say it 10 times in my head, so I try to remember it because, like, I know that I might forget it.
but that's the thing is that like some people they will see the picture, so they'll think of like all right, they'll visualize themselves having to go upstairs, and then they'll imagine having to actually grab the things in the kitchen, start cooking.
Yeah, because if you're asking me about like something like think about back when you were at this location, it would be visual pictures. I wouldn't be looking in text, but like going forward with like forward plans and stuff, it would be more like that inner, this is what's happening, not seeing anything.
For me, I think it's a bit of both. It just depends on the scenario. You know what I mean? Because like I talk to myself quite a bit, kind of like how you're saying, Sean. Like I definitely, am more vocal a lot of times. But there are moments when I'm just sitting, here and I'm thinking about, things, and I'm more visualizing it than I am like speaking the words. So it's just depending on
But
the
but
moment,
that's but that's you're using the act of visualization. That's different than thinking in pictures, thinking visually.
Well, no,
And
that's what I'm saying. It's like instead of like thinking the words of what I'm like doing, I'm thinking of it's like I'm just seeing the actions compared to like thinking the words. You know what I mean?
but that's what I'm saying is that like what I'm trying to describe is not necessarily that. It's literally like I'm gonna get up and go to the bathroom, and that person literally sees in their brain the act of getting up and going to the bathroom. That's how they think. Like, we may all visualize just fine when we want to, but it is a conscious decision for us to do that. That is the default thinking setting for some people. They would actually have to actively decide to use an inner monologue.
But at the same time, what I'm saying is still exactly what you're saying. I'm just clarifying that at least. But yeah, I get what you're saying. More people, there are some people that's the only way they think, but I kind of do a bit of both. But my main generic, I think, would be talking or like words. But there are moments, especially when I'm just like zoned out, where all it is just images of whatever's going on compared to, you know what I mean?
Now, the real fascinating thing is this three-dimensional aspect that they're learning about now, which is, could you imagine? I'm trying to imagine at least that. Again, we'll use the example. I'm going to get up and go to the bathroom. This person can now visually turn all of this around 360 degrees in their mind in a three-dimensional manner, as if looking at that whole scenario playing out in like a 3D modeling software.
Dude, can you imagine like looking down at it and then also like seeing yourself in it? That'd be fucking wild.
I think
Like-
that's
like-
kind of what he's saying.
Yeah,
Is
like,
that what you're saying?
that is I think what they're describing when they describe a three-dimensional, is that like there are people who can visualize it in that context. That's how their default mode of thinking is.
That's wild.
It
Like,
right,
that seems so wild.
but it may explain how people like, for example, Da Vinci could invent some of the wild inventions he invented. If that's how his mind is thinking, that may be how he's able to come up with inventions that were so wildly ahead of his time, because he's visualizing these things in this.
Well, you could also think about it as people saying they have visions. You know what I mean? It's maybe they're not necessarily seeing the future; they're seeing ideas of what could possibly what they're manifesting. You know, as far as their thoughts go, and they could consider it visions. You know what I mean?
I mean, I think
You think? Well,
entirely that you're onto something with
you know what I
that.
mean? Like that could
Yeah.
be part of it. Like for some people that are just very, visual thinkers, like you're saying, Sean, like they do have that kind of like out of body thing. So for them, it is sort of a vision because it's like they're seeing themselves within this thing. So it's like they're out of, that's,
Yeah,
dude.
I think you
might
may
be
absolutely
onto
onto
something
something.
as well as I am. Like, you
Like,
know what I mean? The combination of both of these ideas. could
well,
be
this
a
is the thing,
thing.
right? Is like science is at its earliest stages of understanding this mode of thinking in the human brain. So
Dude.
you really may be onto something that could be a future end result, right? A thing that gets proven that, like, yeah, that is how some people had those visions, is actually their minds thinking in this manner. Because if you daydream, sometimes you can drift off into some wild levels of
I do it
thought,
all the
right?
time, dude. I do it all the time.
And I can see how, if your mind is capable of that thought, that you could drift off to a point where you're having what is, for any lack of other explanation, an out of body experience, where you're visualizing your thought process out of your own body in the third person, if you will. Now you're playing yourself as an RPG. Your life really is Final Fantasy.
Right.
I'm starting a Tenacious D tribute band, and that's the opening line of our first song.
There you go.
Dude, honestly. Tenacious D. Okay, I don't know if I've ever like said this before, like on podcasts. So, like, hopefully I haven't. But like, I actually went and saw Tenacious D in concert, and it was a
Really?
fucking time, dude. It was a
Oh
time.
yeah.
It was a vibe, honestly. Like for real, like Jack Black and like Kenny, like dude, like they just put on a show, man. Like they're showmen. Like you know what I
For
mean?
sure.
Like just the two of them, bro. It
For
was just the
sure,
two
dude.
of them. They were playing a fucking venue that probably had like 2,500, 3,000 people in it. It was like this place that used to be called like the warehouse, and it was like basically an industrial warehouse style building, completely retrofitted for like music and shit and like entertainment bar, all that stuff. And dude, just put on a fucking show. Like it was great. So I would definitely go see them again, to be honest.
It's
This was a
funny.
long ass time ago.
I never
Probably
was
23 years ago.
I was never into Tenacious D. Um, but the older I've gotten, the more and more I've begun to appreciate them. And Jack Black especially. I never really found his humor as funny when I was younger.
Oh, dude, he's
And
totally
now as I've
hilarious.
gotten older, I really do appreciate his brand of comedy.
Dude, I love Jack Black, bro. I always have, dude.
I mean, he's brilliant, and I genuinely believe nowadays
I
that
feel like
like
he's kind of our generation's Robin Williams.
yeah, like he's one of those like we need to protect Jack Black. He's a
1000,
special
yeah,
level of
yeah,
comedian that
100%.
that you know we need to truly appreciate having while we have him.
Yeah.
Because like uh what show is it on? Was it the toy saxophone? Was it on Letterman? It's one of the late nights when he just goes on this wild toy saxophone solo and then starts jamming with the band. Like he is such an incredible showman, as you said. Like I would love to see Tenacious D now that I can truly appreciate them.
Yeah, man,
Uh,
I think you probably would. And like, dude, like the showmanship was just to anything else I'd seen. Like I'd seen hype shit and I'd seen stuff that got me like wound up and everything. But like just the sheer presence, you know what I mean, was like legit. And like, dude, Kenny Gass is like pretty good too. Like honestly, like he's
Isn't
not
it
doing the
Kyle Gass?
same or Kyle. Yeah, not Kenny, Kyle. And dude, like he's like the same. You know
Oh
what I mean?
yeah,
Like he's not quite the same. Like it's
they're
not
two peas
quite
in a
as
pod, though, for
nimble.
sure,
But
bro.
yes, yeah, dude.
They
It was a great
complement each
time.
other very. They're like peas and carrots, as Forrest Gump would say.
you know what else I would say is Tenacious D's also our generation's Penn and Teller. Because they've got a very similar relationship vibe with the kind of humor that they have as a duo.
Yeah, it's like it's like a Jay or Silent Bob,
Or
you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like it's like just the pair. They're just a comedic duo that also rocks.
I will say I would love to see Penn and Teller live as well.
Oh yeah,
Because those dudes, that that whole act is a riot. And I would love to go see that shit.
be sick for sure,
I would like to see a lot of live comedy right now.
dude. I want to go see comedy so bad, Sean. There's so many comedians I want to go see, and it's not even like the big like like top, well, I guess they're kind of top because they're starting to get some recognition now. But like, I want to go see like Mark Norman do some comedy, or like Sam Morril, Shane Gillis, like all these new up and comers that I've been following for a while that are finally starting to like catch, a buzz like on the mainstream. Like Shane Gillis just put out a new special on Netflix and it's been like #1 on Netflix for a while, or at least for like the first week or so it was up.
Yeah, there's a lot of funny people
And the
coming
cool
out
thing
right
about
now.
like his whole thing is like he like earlier in his career he like got hired to be on SNL and then fired before he was even able to be on the show because of like something he said, and like cancel culture kind of came after him, and then he went and ended up releasing a special on YouTube, caught some fire, started doing headlining shows, and now he finally has come back and released a Netflix special, and come to find out it's like one of the best specials that's come out like so far, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. The comedic landscape and the fact that comedians have to tread such a fine line is ridiculous. I mean, some people are just outright saying some fucked
Yeah.
up shit, and yeah, all right, maybe some of them need to be like, hey, you need to calm down.
Yeah, but
But
there's a difference between comedy and being malicious. You know what I mean? Like if
right,
you're going to a comedy club, what else do you expect for people to say other than things that are 100% jokes? They're not going up there to offend or whatever. They're going up there to make people laugh. Some of the things they may say may be offensive, but it's not to be offensive. It's to make a joke
yep,
about the offensive thing majority of the time. It's like making light of a shitty situation. That's the whole premise behind comedy to begin with. You know what I mean? Is to make fun of what's going on in the world to make it more fucking livable. You know what I mean?
100%, man. I mean, shit. Like,
It's to
I
bring
think
happiness to fucking awkward and fucking shitty situations.
I think the best explanation is the joke, the aristocrats. If you watch that documentary and you hear all the versions of that joke get told, like that
Yeah,
is the joke that gets told between comedians.
that, and then the thing is too, it's like music. If you don't like that kind of comedy, don't go to the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's your
Listen,
choice.
Oh,
You don't.
yeah.
wait. Is that how that works?
Yeah,
That's
dude.
crazy.
Yeah, if you don't like something,
Man.
you don't have to listen or watch it.
Yeah. Listen, here's the thing. If you want clean, non-offensive comedy, it's called the Dry Bar. It's a comedy club just for you. Literally, it's in Provost, Utah.
Yeah,
Mormon
there
Central.
are clean comics. Go
Yeah,
see them. You know what I
like
mean?
Dry Bar's got a whole fucking like live comedy channel. Go take in those
It's like
comedians.
choice in movies. You know what I mean? If you don't like a horror movie, do you go to the horror movie? No.
And
Yeah.
then say it was bad.
It's people
There
are
are
just
people
so
that do that though.
sensitive now. It's just, if it's not for you, then don't fucking go watch it. Don't entertain it. You know what I mean? Go see the thing that is for you.
It
Everybody's got different taste. Everybody has different opinions. You know what I mean? Fucking let everybody enjoy their fucking shit and you enjoy yours and go on with their fucking life, dude. Jesus Christ.
there's always going to be people who need to complain about something though,
Yeah.
like right, like you have the satanic panic of the 80s and early 90s, and like people are always going to have to fucking have something to throw a goddamn fit about, and
And
it
here's the
just gets
thing.
so tiresome.
There's some things that I don't like. I don't like horror movies, so I don't go see them. But
Right.
hey, if you like them, fucking go for it, dude. They're out there for you. And apparently nowadays there's a fuck ton of them coming out compared to anything else. Like honestly, because there's a point in time where I really enjoyed watching like upcoming trailer videos of like movies that are upcoming within the next few months. And 90% of the movies in those things are horror flicks nowadays. So there's a lot of options out there for you, which sucks for me because that doesn't leave me with many. But hey, I ain't upset because that leaves more for you, and I'll find my shit somewhere else. But there are a lot of things that I don't like. There's even comedians that I don't necessarily enjoy. But you know what I do? I don't watch them.
Right, like that's everybody wants freedom of choice, but then they forget that they have it.
Yeah. Or
Like
they
I
want to take everybody else's away because
yeah,
it's not something they choose to watch.
like I'm not forcing you to watch the show about gay people, but but let it fucking be there for the gay people who want to
Yeah.
watch it, because no one's gonna force you to watch the horror shows and the horror movies you don't want to watch. I'm not gonna watch the political shit that I don't want to watch. I'm gonna watch the fucking nature documentary because I want to watch the animals.
Dude,
You
one thing that
know,
kind
Yeah,
of
that
like
makes me
the
feel
one
better.
One thing that kind of gets me too is how much they're trying to push all these narratives into mainstream media now, to where it's like every show, like every big show, has got to have some sort of aspect of whatever. When they can't just let it be, it has to be a big plot point within it. You know what I mean? Why not just let it be part of the? Just let it be in the show without it having to be like a focal point. You know what I mean? You don't have to make a point of it. Let it be there and people can notice it, and then it's more of a real life situation compared to like, oh, we have to make a big deal about this or a big deal about that. Like that kind of gets on my nerves sometimes.
I feel like that's a big problem with lazy writing, though. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Well, that's part of it too, is they just focus on whatever the big pop culture thing is at the moment, or the biggest thing in the
yeah,
media or the news. And like, and I'm not saying I don't support or I'm fucking against whatever, you know what I mean? It's just like, let it
the
be what it is. You don't have
right,
to like
right.
bring it into every fucking thing. You know
It's
what I
it's
mean?
it's like, do you, and I support it, but you're right. Don't make it an
Yeah,
obvious
don't throw it in
part.
everybody's faces as like the biggest point of whatever's going on. Just
The
let
the
it be
issue is
there and
like
let
this.
it happen
Yeah,
organically.
there's a fine line between doing it creatively and feeling like propaganda.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the problem, is that I think that, and here's, and I'm going to be clear for at least my own opinion on this. I don't believe that it's being done in an effort for propaganda. I just genuinely believe that the fucking writers are just that damn lazy, that it is sloppy, and that's why it looks that way. It's forced in there because they're like, yeah, this will be topical, and boom, and they just stick it in there, and it's fucking sloppy, and it's not
It's
written
for
tactfully.
relevancy a lot of times, and that's the main problem. Is they're like, oh well, what's the big topic at the moment? Let's just figure a way to write this in.
Yeah, like, you don't need socio-political shit in a superhero movie.
Yeah,
Like, you don't need to force it in there. It's fine. It's fine. Like, it's not necessary to put socio-political subplots in there. Like, I get it if they come up to aid the master plot, but that's why we have socio-political movies.
well, no, pick a story. Just pick the storyline that involves that, because they're out there. They're just trying to like throw it into things that it doesn't fit in, and that's what makes me upset. It's just like that just doesn't fit within the storyline.
Yeah,
But
it's
if you
you've
chose this other one, or decided to, instead of go off of something that's already there, create something new, and I wouldn't be upset about it. You know what I mean? Make a new idea that involves that sort of thing, and then
that.
that's what upsets me, is they're trying to change these things to make them fit in with the popular, opinions or whatever, the the narrative is at the moment. And it's just like, you don't have to do that. Come up with a new idea, or find a storyline within these already created ideas that fit that scenario, because they're already out there.
Yep.
With the majority of these things, they're coming there's a lot of fucking things that you could meld to fit this thing way better than taking the most popular storyline and then changing it up to fit whatever your narrative is, and then completely losing, the whole basis behind what the original story is supposed to be about. That's
Dude,
my
think
problem
about
with
like
it.
the whole fucking like woke generation, like how it'll get looked back in history. Like it makes me wonder, like 20 years from now, they'll be like looking back at like the woke generation that's like going on. And like I'm not against anything like
Yeah,
necessarily, but like
I'm
I
not
think some
either.
extremism is like sort of in play here. So,
For
but
sure.
like I wonder how people will like look back on it. And they'll be like, yo, remember the woke generation?
They're like, man, what a wild time.
Well, I mean, it hurts me a little because, like, I remember when, like, this whole being a woke movement was kind of starting to start, and at least in that part that I was at least exposed to and around, it was really more of a like, wake up, the government's lying, the government's fucking you. And somewhere along the lines that shifted to what it is now, and I don't know how it happened, but in my view, it feels like the government co-opted it and was like, no, 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 no,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. We're gonna change the narrative of what this means, so that way the people who are woke are this thing, and not the people who are like, no, the government's lying, the government's fucking you, taxes are stealing. When meanwhile, the government's lying, taxes are fucking stealing, and you're getting fucked by the government. Um,
Yeah,
like,
that, and that, like the whole like premise behind it too. At one point was supposed to be acceptance, but at the same time, that what they're doing is just like going after people and bringing negativity instead of being accepting and creating positivity, which what the movement was supposed to be about at a certain point. And like these things get so fucking convoluted through all these different narratives, where instead of fucking being a positive thing, it turns into a negative thing, because they're spreading hate against people that don't believe in these woke ideals, instead of being accepting of people for who they are and what they are as they're supposed to be in this new woke movement. It's it's ridiculous.
I mean, I know this. At the end of the day, society will always evolve. I mean, that's just how it works. Like it's history. Societies will always evolve one way or the other.
Until they
S-
crumble.
Exactly. So, I mean,
Do we want to go down that rabbit hole for a second?
li-
No, I'm just kidding. Let's
like
not.
you know, we are.
We don't have long, ladies and
We
gentlemen.
don't have
I'm
enough
just
time to
kidding.
get into that one. But at the end of the day, like societies are always going to continue to evolve, and there are always going to be people who will resist that movement towards the future, and there will be people who will always push forward for it. Um, I think what really is crazy is that in a time when it would be most beneficial for us to look towards a spirit of unity, more often than not, we are pushed to pick sides about everything. And that's incredibly unfortunate because that does work towards the detriment of society becoming a better version of itself. And I think as parents often want their children to be better, I think I can say, as three gentlemen here who have no children, um, that we at least might want to hope that we can contribute to a society that will be better in the future, you know?
Yeah, no, dude. I think so. I don't even think like necessarily like shaping people into something like, man, like I, I don't know. I feel like you just like learn more by like being around something. You know what I mean? Like you pick up mannerisms and certain things from people that you might spend a lot of time with. Like you might even like say certain things that they'd say that you normally wouldn't have said, whatever. But you can also like learn from people. Like I'm sure that everybody's like had that friend that's just always doing like the right thing, always, and it'll like make you think sometimes like when you're faced with that situation where you're like, oh man, you know what? No, I'm gonna fucking do it. You know, I saw fucking Dennis do this forever, bro. And like it just like it helps you. So like I don't know, man. It's so weird. I feel like my one like it's not even a hot take. It's just my one thing is like I feel like there's so much going on, and like I'm not saying that like the way that I was brought up was like the way to fucking be brought up, but like I feel like change happens over time, and it's just not been enough time to completely change everything. Do you know what I mean? Like some of it seems radical to me. The way that things like are moving, it's like a bit radical. I'm not against it. Just think that like change comes in time. Like that's really like the way that I
You'd
probably
like
put
to
it.
slow the train down a little.
Just a little, man. Just a little. Like you don't have to like go from no train to like jumping on the train. And it's like the bullet train in Japan. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
I, I mean, no, but I think you speak eloquently for people who don't know how to say that, though. I think that might summarize it really well. Is that for a lot of people, it's like I'm not against moving forward. I'm just not ready to move at light speed.
Yeah.
yeah,
And there are a lot of people who push for light speed. And listen, I'm one of those people who I'm probably more towards the let's get there sooner rather than later. But I am sensitive to the fact that there are things that are already evolving quicker than I can keep up with. So if we move faster than we're already moving, I'm getting left behind in places, and I'm not comfortable doing that yet. So I understand the resistance that people have.
yeah, because like that's like one of those things, right? That like I find that like a lot of the things that are happening, like they're fine. Like I'm not against them necessarily happening, but like when there's like such it just definitely like it just feels like radicalism. Like, dude, people like go and they'll like be like crazy, you know, every day I'll like see some sort of thing on like Twitter or whatever, and it'll be like people trying to do like a roadblock or like people protesting something at some, you know, government building. And you're like, I understand that like certain things have to happen, but like certain things take time. And unfortunately, like that's the problem. right? It's the things because they have to go through the proper channels. It's not like people can just decide one day to do something and like that's fine. Because like to them it might be, into a lot of people it might be, but like there's certain things that like have to change and you can't force them to change super fast. Like I don't know.
Well, I mean,
Maybe
you're
that's just
right.
like me, like my like old man take or something. I don't know, but like
You're you're right though, because like at the end of the day, right? If we take a broader perspective, protest is often towards some law that people dislike, or some ruling or something that people dislike. At the end of the day, when you think about the people who you're trying to influence to change their opinion, that's the issue. You're trying to influence elected officials to change their opinion.
yeah,
And listen, I know some people who you could fucking they could tell you that the sky is green, and you could show them every bit of factual evidence to prove them wrong, and they will still believe the sky is green. You'll never change that. So, I mean, that's that's the fucking thing. Like you said, it's some things will take time, and we
Right.
can't be irrationally out of our minds when it takes more than a minute to get things done.
With the way the system is now, it's going to take time for a change because there's going to have to be people that are cycled out with new people cycled in order to make these changes. Because, like Sean says, there are a lot of people that, these legacy shareholders within Congress that have no terms, that have been in since who knows how long, that are at the top of the top making these decisions. And until those people, step down, or or forced out or whatever, or voted out, a lot of these decisions aren't going to change as fast as we'd like. The only way that's going to happen is if we're able to get the people in the right places to start making these changes, and that is only going to come with time.
Well, and I'm gonna get to a hot take on this one. Um, it I understand that there's a lot of younger people who really do want to see some big changes. The problem is that you have to get involved in the actual political process to make those changes. It is it is our right in to protest, to peacefully assemble. So you can show up outside, you can throw your picket sign in the air, and you can march around, and you can do those things. That is your right. But if you really want to affect those changes, then you have to get involved in it. I mean, there are plenty of stories in your inner cities of people who got tired of their neighborhood not being represented well. So they got into local politics and became a local representative and started representing their local district so that they could get better funding and blah 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 for their community. And then from there, they moved up into the bigger parts of local politics, and then into the bigger parts of the national stage. I understand that it's political science is a very unappealing direction for a lot of young people to want to go for a form of study. The flip of that is that I'm a firm believer that if you want to change the system, and if you want to fight the system, in a lot of cases you have to become the system. And I think in the especially in the American political system, that's the only way you can do it. You can't have riots. You can't storm the Capitol. You can't do those things. You have to get into politics and become the politicians that make those changes, because otherwise all you can do is vote for what those politicians tell you. And politicians are going to lie, they're going to fuck you, taxes are stealing. We've already been over this. So you got to go become the honest politician.
dude, wouldn't that be crazy though?
It
At points
happens,
in my
man.
life, I was like, I never thought about being a politician, but like I thought of like the idea of being a politician, right? So like that to me, those are different things. Like thinking about me being a politician would be me thinking about like, attaining that goal, doing all the work. But the other one is just like, could I do it? And the idea of like, could I be an honest person within that, right? And I honestly don't know if you could actually maintain a job, being a completely honest person. And I also think that you'd be put in a lot of like insane scenarios in order to be 100% honest. Like, and I'm not saying because like all government officials are, crooked. I don't even mean like that. I mean like there might be times that like your hands are just tied. Like you can't do anything.
I
You know what I
I
mean? Like you
agree.
can vote and you could maybe be a part of it and like try to be a part of the change, but like with everything else that's going around you, it might be difficult.
I agree because like I think it's no secret that there's a lot of dark money in Washington. You know, a lot of lobbyists move a lot of money around in a lot of different ways into politicians' hands. Um, and it's pretty well known that that's the way you get things done in Washington. And
But dude, that's
so,
probably anywhere. Like, dude, that could be like you're Sean Typhon. I got this business. I got this like government going on in this fucking town, and I want the ability to do this or do that. And you just happen to fucking be like, yo, oh, that's crazy. Like, you're doing something. I'm gonna fucking throw you 50K for you to like do a better one of that. And we'll say that it's like towards fucking campaign budget shit, whatever, and like you just get hooked up, bro.
oh no,
Like that could happen even
it,
locally, right? But it
you're
happens
100%
obviously
right. I
grander
know
scale in Washington for sure.
I know that it works that way. Like you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I can speak to that currently in that my company, because of political relationships, has certain contracts that we will not pursue.
Yeah,
We,
no, exactly.
that's it.
Exactly.
When those political relationships are eventually over, then we will be allowed to pursue those contracts in the future. But until then, we just know that you'll never get that contract. That's fine. You just don't even bother. Move on. You know what I mean? Like there's friendships there with those companies, and that's just how it's going to be. So let it be until there's an opportunity to for it to change. So I get it, man. I get it. But that's the thing, right? Is like it can be done. It has been done. It can be done again. But that's how it has to happen if you want those big changes. Because at the end of the day, a lot of these people up there are not going to do it for you. They're just not. Um, they may say it to your face, but they won't. We saw it. We saw it in vaping. You know, a lot of politicians said they'd defend us and then still voted against us. You know, saw it a lot in cannabis. A lot of people said
Yeah.
they'd defend it and then they would
Dude,
vote
there's just like
against
a
it.
lot of like bad people, period, out there, man. It's unfortunate, but like, man, it's a tough go out there, period, when it comes to all that stuff. Unfortunately, like I never thought we would get political on here. I guess we really haven't necessarily, but like it's definitely it's so unique. And whenever I see like movies or like TV shows, I'm like, there's no way this shit's real. And then like a scandal comes out and it's like real, and you're like, what the fuck? Is this shit like actually like happening all the time? And then you're
Oh
like, yeah,
yeah,
I guess
dude.
it is, you know?
You'd be surprised, man.
Yeah, man. I know
I
this.
think that I'm like slowly starting to be less and less surprised, but like I think that there's been a lot of moments where I was like, what the
Well,
fuck?
it's just because now the internet and everything is there, so it's all these stories are way easier to get a hold of and to put out and find out about compared to back in the day where the only time you'd find out is if there's a news story written about it, or someone said something on a talk show, or did an
Yeah.
interview with something. That was the only way you'd find out about these things. But now it's like if you happen to be there and you have a phone on you, you can record these scandals happening in real time and fucking send it to whatever tabloid you want. And the next thing you know, they're all over.
Well, and a lot of people are just more comfortable talking nowadays too.
Well, that too.
I know years ago I worked for a woman. She was my superior in a convenience store actually. And she told me how before she took on the role that she was in now, um, she actually worked for a company that did a lot of government lobbying. And she said that she did it for a few years. And the thing that sucks about doing government lobbying in Washington is that she literally had to carry notebooks to keep track of the lies that she was telling different people in order to get these different contracts and to get these different things to work for her company. And it was when
Dude,
she
think about
realized,
how exhausting that would be.
well,
Oh
and that
my
was it.
god.
When she realized how much that was killing her to have to do that after a few years, she was like, I'd much rather take a simple, basic job that pays my bills, but does not stress me to death like this. And she chose to manage a gas station instead of be a lobbyist for fucking some awful corporation and have to do all of that.
Yeah, that would be horrible.
So, I mean, it's crazy how much really goes on. But I think with this politically philosophical conversation coming to a
Shit.
close, I think it's a good opportunity for us to bring this episode to a close because we got really deep on that. I want to thank everybody for tuning in with us. Of course, a big shout out to all the patrons. You guys really do make it so special. We really do appreciate it. And with that, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna bring it to a close with Uncle Chris.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give like this update. I listened to a completely random playlist. I played one song and then just let it play. So I guess it just throws you in some like algo and like you just roll with whatever they put out.
Mhm.
It was good. I'm happy. I literally started with Aurora, a song by Aurora. It's like this like Scandinavian woman singer. Anyway, she has like some unique songs, and it's actually rolled back to her right now. That's who's actually playing right now. But I heard all sorts of things. It was good. So yeah, okay. We're gonna have to get into this at another time because I don't want to like drag it on. I want to find out what you guys thought about like after listening to music the whole time for the first time, if you actually did. But yes, anyways, back to like me saying goodbye. All right, yeah, appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Of course, check out shedtimepodcast.com. Check out our Patreon. You guys were basically the main driving factor of us, trying out those things, and like probably will help fund some other cool shit that we're gonna do down the line. So appreciate everybody that does that. I think that's it. I'm just gonna stop it there. I'm gonna say, hopefully everybody has a good week and live your best life. Frames, go ahead.
As always, shout outs to the Shedheads. Appreciate all you guys' support. Make sure you're still leaving those 5-star reviews on all your podcasting platforms. Share it around. Let your friends know about it. Of course, you can check us out on Friday over on my YouTube channel for the Green Room. We do some more vape-oriented content as well as some hangouts, and you guys can catch us live so you can chat with us in real time over there. So come check us out. Other than that, make sure you check out the Patreon because there is some exclusive stuff over there as far as the Discord, early access to the video aspect of the podcast and all that good stuff. So with that, I'm gonna end it as I always do, sending out positive vibes, crisp vibes. Don't forget to tell someone you love them in a little bag or dabble, do ya, Sean?
Well, we made it to the end of another one, my friends, and it's been a real fun ride. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, one more time, shedtimepodcast.com. You can find links to the Patreon. You can find the stream there. You can find links to the Frames Jangling Vapor channel where you can watch the Green Room every Friday night. Yeah, so much more. So go check it out. Other than that, you know what I'm going to tell you. Don't let the best get you down. Be cool. Don't be a dick. And whatever it is you do, be sure and have some fun because it's the Shedtime Podcast. And we about to roll on up and roll on out.
Dynavap. Looking to cut the cord on your dry herb vape? Dynavap. Trying to get the best taste from your herb? Dynavap. Ready to take your sesh to the next level? Then meet Dynavap, the best way to vape your flower or concentrate. Concentrates? That's right, your flower or hash can be vaped using Dynavap. Check out Dynavap.com to learn more. That's Dynavap.com. Lose the ash? Dynavap.
What's going on, Shedheads? It's your boy Frames Janklin. Are you looking to step up your match game or have a raw copper, brass, or stainless mod or RDA that you're absolutely tired of polishing? Then you need to go and hit up my man Ashton at Palmer's Powders. He does some absolutely amazing powder coating work. He offers many different colors and finishes at an absolutely killer price. This man is taking powder coating to a whole new level, and he can make your setup an absolute masterpiece. You can go follow him over on Instagram at Palmer's Powders, and you can go check out pricing on his website, palmerspowders.com. That's palmerspowders.com. And as always, let's just vape on, Shedheads.
I want you to think of your favorite rebuildable right now. Yeah, okay, so you have a layer cake in your hand, and now you're about... Oh, sorry, yeah, that's not everyone's favorite. That's just mine. So think of your favorite rebuildable atomizer. Think about how good of a vape it produces for you. Now, take that and amplify it. And the way that you amplify that is you put in some Breezestone coils. Breezestone coils are handcrafted in Adelaide, Australia. They're made from some of the finest quality wire that you can get. I believe it's wire Buddha. You take those coils, you take them out of that phenomenal packaging that clearly shows how much care that Adam puts on the quality of his coils and the insurance that you get them in good shape. You put them in that favorite RDA, and guess what? You have coils that now sing better than Celine Dion. Go check out Breezestone coils. You can find them on localvape.com and also steelvalleyvapors.com. Solid.
Yeah, bud.
I am so fried.
I'm
I'm
and
so hungry.
bro. Same
Me
here, dude.
too. I'm making
I ate a
some ham and
muffin at like
eggs.
1:30. 2, maybe 2:30. Maybe it was 2:30.